they can build an audience before they launch their startup. The idea is that we, in accordance with lean methodologies and everything, that the idea is that we figure out if people want the thing that we're actually going to build, and then when we find out that it changes a little bit after we actually talk to customers, then we're in a position to do so. We haven't spent a bunch of resources. We've spent a little bit of time, but we haven't spent a lot of money at all, trying to figure this thing out, right? So that's the aim of Startup Hustle. We do this in a couple of ways. The way it works for an entrepreneur is they come and they find Startup Hustle through friends or through an email address or an email contact, or in some cases when we have ads out there that's pointing towards the landing page, because that's what we do in Lean. They want to know the basics, or maybe somebody has an idea and they're like, I'm not really sure what to do with it except talk about it or whatever, right? So what we do is we say, okay, welcome here, you're home. And then the second thing we do is we have a bunch of workshops where we talk a little bit about theory, and then we actually talk about how we're going to make sure that we understand where people are actually coming from. In other words, the third step is we get out of the building, right? And we go and we talk to people and we say, hey, I'm thinking about building this thing. Is this something that you would even want? And after about 10 no's, maybe you get a yes, because you've changed it a couple of times. So you know what people are going to say, right? Okay, so this is the cycle that we use. And after about a couple iterations of this is what our entrepreneurs get. They get customers, they get a way to talk about what their project is, they get a way to contact those customers and keep getting them, and oh, by the way, they get a product or a service that people actually want. That's the goal anyways, right? So, how do we do that? We employ lean methodologies, or the startup, man, I just had a blank spot, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you, Gary. I say this all the time, I don't know what happened. So we use lean startup method, or we use the scientific method, or we use a version of design thinking. It's all the same stuff, which is basically means it's inductive reasoning, right? So Sherlock Holmes, he was all big on deduction and figuring out if you have this, and with algebra, right? You have this equation and it says find for x, and it gives you this gnarly string of variables or whatever, and you're supposed to keep wickering it down until you get a solution. This takes that whole thing and turns it upside down. This is what we do. We make an observation based on a problem that we've had, and then we say, if this is the case, I'll bet you that I can sell a solution here. So that becomes a hypothesis. And then after that, we decide, oh, well, I want to ask other people about this to see if I'm right on this. So we ask other people, and either I'm right or I'm not right. Usually what happens is I'm a little bit in between, right? And so after that, I've conducted a test. Then what I do is I conclude based on the results of my test, and then I decide whether I'm going to go all in or not, right? That's the deal. So we do this in a series of 4 workshops. The first workshop is taking a look at the customer, understanding the customer's functional needs and their emotional needs. Then we get outside of the building, we validate that by talking to customers. The second thing that we do in the second workshop is we decide, based on the feedback that we've gotten, we are going to present a solution to a customer. And if they like it, cool, we keep it. If they don't, then we throw it out and we start doing something else. The third workshop is, once we know all of this, because we validated it, we put it on a web page, and we try to see how much traffic we can drive to it and see how many clicks we can get on our value proposition, right? And then the fourth thing is we come over here and we say, okay, how are we going to articulate this to an audience? This is where you guys come in, by graciously listening to all the hard work that we've done. So, with that said, we've got about 8 folks. We are going to each pitch is going to be about 5 minutes each. When I did the slide, there was about 10 people on the roster, and we were going to take a break halfway through. But if we only have 8, I think it's okay just to push through, right? I'm getting nods. That's good. Dan, just shut up and let's go. That's what I'm seeing. And some patronizing smiles. Laura.
I'm smiling.
Oh, you're smiling. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do pitches. We're gonna do 5 minutes each. At the end of the slideshow, or at the end of the night, we're gonna ask you guys to fill out the form again. and then we'll do some more networking and some Q&A. Our entrepreneurs have tables in the back there where you can interface with them. We're going to forego the question and answer after a pitch. We're just going to jump right into the next pitch. So the web form will allow you to ask questions at the end. Sound good? Okay, congratulations. You made it through the first part of Dan talking. Now we're really going to listen to other people talking. I'd like to have our first presenter up, Cell ID, and this is Christina Kumar. Come on up, Christina.
Cell ID. Do you know anyone who has lost their cell phone? Maybe have you lost your cell phone?
Yes, that's right.
Well, did you ever get it back? Did they ever get it back?
Yes.
According to our studies, only about 7% of people ever get their cell phone back. And $30 billion worth of cell phones were lost on average every year. The age range of 18 to 34 being the biggest offender of this. Our research shows that the younger the person is, the more likely they are to lose their cell phone. There probably isn't an epiphany, isn't a mind-blowing idea. And 18 to 24, 45% likely that they are going to lose their cell phone. And the problem is that the younger, people are just getting cell phones at a younger and younger age, which just means that percentage is just getting higher and higher. How big of a problem if you were to lose your cell phone? I don't know about you, my cell phone is probably the most expensive thing that I carry with me on a daily basis. Phones are easily costing $700 plus. And if you were to lose your cell phone, what kind of information would be on that cell phone that you would lose? For mine, it's got all my contacts in it, syncs all my documents. You'd be devastated if I lost it. And then the time that it would take to transfer over to a different phone, that would really suck. So there are a couple of companies out there right now that are helping us solve this problem. They're called Tile and Find My Device. They have over 10 million users each. There are 4.7 billion cell phone users in the world, and 70 million cell phones were lost last year. So the problem with the current solutions of Tile and Find My Cell Phone is that they are rather complicated and they're rather buggy. The biggest problem is that you have to have your cell phone on when it's lost. I don't know about you, but when I lose my cell phone, it often is when it's dead. So those solutions would not be a solution for me. They can be expensive, they're complicated, they're not simple, and again, you have to have your cell phone on when you lose it, and it's got to stay on. So this is where Cell ID comes in. It can save your phone, it can save your information, and of course save you time in transitioning to a new cell phone. It's super simple, it's really affordable, and the best part, your phone does not need to be on for it to help you get your phone back. So what is it? It's a really simple idea. It's a Cell ID that goes, it's kind of like a luggage tag for your cell phone. It's got your contact information in it, and when somebody finds it, they can help give it back to you. I know it's simple, but this can save a lot of people. And this is kind of the first minimum viable product. We'll have more complicated ones where you can actually track your phone. Instead of having an app that tracks the phone, the person would contact Cell ID, and we would reach out and let the person know where their cell phone is, so they don't have to have yet another app that they got to deal with. And this simple solution can help save your valuable phone. So not mentioning the 4.7 billion users out there, and just going with the 70 million phones that were lost last year, if each one of those people were proactive and they wanted to solve the problems, they bought our Cell ID solution, which is costing $10 each, that'd be a revenue of $700 million. It's a major problem. So how would we get the word out? Well, Summerfest has got over 1 million people that attend it. Coachella's got over 125,000 people that attend it. And if you've ever been to these events, they're nuts. And people are losing their cell phones all the time. So it would be a great place to find new adopters. We'll be pursuing distributorships with T-Mobile, Sprint, and Best Buy so that they carry our Cell ID in the stores and help us sell it. And of course, we'll be doing some social media ads to get the word out. So what's our competitive advantage against the Tile and Find My Phone? Well, it's super simple idea. It's foolproof, except perhaps if it falls out of the phone, but it's really secured in there. It comes with an app, without an app, and you need it, and it's got new styles to it, and it's super affordable as opposed to the other solutions that are available out there. Srinu Kumar is the founder of the idea. She has one wicked startup. She's great at marketing and PR. She can help build this idea forward. She is looking for people who can help make it happen, product engineers, product managers, and advisors to help get the idea moving forward. Here's her information to reach out to her. If you are a potential advisor, if you're a potential product manager or maker, please feel free to reach out to her. If you've got any good ideas to help her along the way, or frankly, just got any questions or interest at all, feel free to reach out to Srinu Kumar.
Thanks, guys. Just set it right there. No pressure. I mean it, no pressure. None. Are you nervous?
No.
Okay, that's cool. It's so hard to work a laptop when you're like... Alright, cool. Everybody, I give you math for every mind with Suzanne.
My name is Suzanne, and I'm a math specialist, a mom, a former classroom teacher, and a world traveler. My company, Math for Every Mind, is on a mission to multiply math confidence and enjoyment while subtracting the cost of expensive math catch-up interventions for schools and families. To accomplish this, we provide math coaches to second grade classrooms who are interested in transforming the way they teach math. Our coaches are experienced classroom teachers who are passionate about math. And when cost is an issue, we help schools find grant funding in order to pay for this coaching. I'll never forget tutoring Patrick. We were working on a complete page of math equations like this one, and he was sitting there concentrating hard saying, I know this. To multiply fractions, I have to flip the second fraction. Was that for dividing fractions? I probably should have been helping him think of ways to get through the homework, but all I could think of was how much catching up he was going to have to do just to graduate from high school, let alone pursue the computer science degree he was interested in. Most first grade teachers I've spoke to report that they know by sometime during first grade the kids that are going to struggle in math. Wouldn't it have been nice if Patrick could have got help right when he first started to struggle? Imagine how different his relationship with math would be today if he learned early on that he was good at math. Just out of curiosity, how many of you consider yourselves math people? About half. Well, the good news coming out of the latest research is that every brain is a math brain. All of us are math people. So all students are capable of mastering the grade level standards. Instead, a major reason that students struggle with math is because of gaps in their knowledge. Math is sequential. Patrick struggled in algebra partly because he never mastered fractions in elementary school. This graph shows the percentage of students by grade level who aren't meeting the California state standards each year. This doesn't even include the percentage of kids that are nearly meeting, which means not meeting, the state standards. As you can see, the trend is alarming. As the math gets harder, more kids aren't making it. I think that students who struggle with math deserve support earlier in their school year, in their career. Another thing that bothers me as a classroom teacher is that public education should be free. Wouldn't it be nice if parents could go out to dinner once in a while instead of paying an expensive math tutor to help their child catch up week after week? Part of our mission is to take funding out of the equation to create more equity in math education. It could mean that we use the grant money to fund math coaches. It could mean that we subsidize tutoring for parents. In fact, I just applied for my first grant from the California Teachers Association to fund my work with a second grade classroom next year. And amazingly, all of the teachers and the administrators that I work with, they had no idea that these funds were out there. There's lots of money out there, and big money. Most of you recognize most of the names on that slide. You know, thousands and thousands of dollars. But schools need help finding it and applying for it. It's a lot of work. Finally, another problem that gets in the way of all kids learning math is time. That teachers just don't have the time. Right now, most professional development occurs on a few days during the school year. The kids get the day off, and all the teachers, it's one size fits all. It doesn't matter if you're a new teacher or if you've been teaching for 20 years, everybody gets the same stuff. Wouldn't it be nice if individualized support was delivered on demand throughout the year while the students are in school instead of at home or in daycare? By focusing on early intervention, equity, and individualized teacher support, Math for Every Mind coaches can make a real difference for every student. You may be wondering how big the need is. Well, you knew we were going to do a little bit of math, right? If you look at the numbers, however you do the math, whether you estimate or you get out your phones, if 3 million students took the state test, and about 62%, about 2/3 of them nearly met or didn't meet, that's 2 million students in the state of California right now that are struggling with math, just in public schools. For second grade classrooms, it's clear that whether you're looking at struggling kids or maybe kids who are advanced learners and are getting bored, virtually every classroom could benefit from a math coach. So for now, I need help learning about how to write grants, and also I need to learn how to run a consulting business. So if you have grant writing or consulting experience, I'd love to talk to you. Please reach out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susanna. And now up with a new is Dale McDonald.